Hi guys, I know you are all getting ready to start the 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I'm hoping that you're just as excited as I am. I know that the Extreme is a lot like the original 21 Day Fix for those of you who have done that, but there are some differences. So rather than you opening up your box, looking at all the information, getting overwhelmed, and not knowing where to start, I wanted to kind of go through the process of where you should begin from the second that you open up your manual. So the 21 Day Fix, as you know, is a great program because not only does it come with these amazing workouts that are really amped up for the extreme version, but the heart and soul of this program is the eating plan. And I truly believe that it teaches you so much about clean eating, balanced nutrition, and just an overall healthy approach to your nutrition. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do when you open up your packet is you want to look at the pamphlet that says Start Here. This is really important because a lot of people miss the fact that it comes with the schedule for your workouts. So if you open this up, you'll see that it shows you the calendar. This can be kind of confusing if you don't follow this, so make sure you're looking at that. There are two options. You can follow just the Monday through Sunday routines of just going through for the full 21 days, or you can add in the additional workouts to kind of boost your activity level. So that's a good place to start, is just looking and making sure you know that when you press play on your first day, exactly where you're going to start. For the workouts, you're going to need two sets of weights, a light set and a heavy set, just like you did with the regular 21 Day Fix. But in addition, there are a few workouts that require a resistance band. So you'll need to make sure that you have that as well. Okay, so that takes care of the workout part. That's pretty easy. The part that you really want to concentrate on is your nutrition because, again, as I said, that's the heart and soul of this program. So you should have opened up your package and you should have gotten your color-coded containers. I love these things. I find them to be not only cute because they're colorful, but really helpful, and they really teach you about portion size. As you continue to use them, you'll be able to eventually eyeball it and kind of know what a serving looks like, which is really the whole premise of the program, right? I do, however, still use my yellow container every time that I measure out my yellow category of food, like my brown rice. I always stick it in my yellow container because that's something that's kind of hard to eyeball. So that's really helpful. Okay, so let's talk about where you'll start. If you open up your eating plan guidebook, you will find that not only do you have your list of foods that you're going to choose from for your program, but you'll also find some really great recipe additions in this version. And I'm really, really loving the recipes that Autumn included this time because I think that they are really simple, which is something that appeals to me, but they also combine flavors in a really easy way. So definitely thumb through that. My suggestion for starting is to first, if you turn to page 4 in here, you'll see that once you've become familiar with what each of these color categories stand for, you'll find that on page 4 it talks about calculating your category target, and that's really important. Something that they've added in with the Fix Extreme is different levels of your lifestyle. So there's the sedentary lifestyle, the moderate lifestyle, and the active lifestyle to help you figure out, okay, where are you already on a daily basis with your activity before you even factor in your workouts, which is important, right? Because if you're someone who is sitting behind a desk all day versus someone who is on your feet all day, that's going to kind of play into things. So you're going to first just plug your numbers into these categories. It's really, really simple. And then that will bring you to the next page that will tell you how many servings of each color category you're going to have a day. That's really the basis of it. You want to become familiar with that. You kind of want to, in the beginning, you'll want to have it written down. What I'll do is I put it in the notes section on my phone. And then in addition, I pop it on my meal plan that I print out, usually using like an Excel spreadsheet. So that kind of helps me. I know there are also some really good apps for 21 Day Fix trackers. And in addition, if you go to the Team Beachbody website, you can print out, I'm just looking for the paper that has it here with the directions, but you can print out the tracker sheets so that you can, if that works for you, that's something you can do as well. And that is, if you go to teambeachbody.com, go to Get Fit, Fitness Tools, and then Workout Sheets, you'll see the category printouts that look kind of like this, which is in this pamphlet. So there's lots of tools out there. the most important thing is finding the one that works for you. So anyway, you'll figure out which colors you'll have. Then you want to start to think about how you're going to space them out throughout the day. Something that I like in this program in the Fix Extreme also is that if you turn to page 7 in your manual, it talks about using the containers and spreading them out over the day. So I always suggest doing 3 small meals and then doing 2 snacks in between so that you're eating every 2 to 3 hours. I find that that really keeps your metabolism going and keeps you fueled for the day so that you're not at any point in the day feeling ravenous and then making bad decisions with your eating. So that's what I always kind of do. But this kind of breaks it down even further and talks about, do you want to use the energy balancer approach, would kind of be like what I was talking about, the fat burner approach, which would be 6 small meals, or the competition regimen, which Autumn shares her bikini competition regimen, which is really cool. So you have some options there. My suggestion to you in the beginning would probably be that kind of eating every 2 to 3 hours, 3 meals, 2 snacks, unless you're already doing something else. But that's kind of a good place to start while you're getting used to incorporating the portion control and the containers into your routine. So the other option that you have, there's lots of options with this program, right? The other option is to just follow the Fix Extreme eating plan, which would go along with everything in this meal guide. The next option you have is to do the Fix Extreme, and then at the end of your 21 days, the last 3 days, you could follow her Countdown to Competition guide, which is a really stripped program. And you'll find that in actually the pamphlet that says Countdown to Competition, with her looking amazing on the front. And you'll see it's really kind of simple stuff like steamed fish, steamed yams, things like that, steamed vegetables. So that's really good. I would probably, for me, I would start out with just doing the Fix Extreme for the first 18 days and then finishing with the last 3 with the Countdown to Competition. But again, that's up to you. You want to think about what your goals are and kind of what you also have going on in the next 21 days and what you'd be able to manage. So that's what you want to decide. Okay, as you go through this this meal guide, you'll find that just like the regular 21-day fix, she breaks down each of the container categories. Now, with the regular 21-day fix, the lists were organized hierarchically. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but basically with the best stuff being at the top. And then as you got to the bottom of the list, it was a little bit less nutritious. So like in the yellow category, for example, you would see waffles and pancakes and bagels, but they would be on the bottom of the list with like quinoa being at the top. She talks about that in this one. She kind of eliminated those poor choices, so there's really not too much going on you have to worry about that. Everything is kind of great options, but you'll notice that there are symbols. So on the green container sheet I'm looking at right now, everything is bulleted, and then there are plus symbols next to the foods that she specifically eats and X's next to the foods that she leaves out. So that's kind of helpful because, like if you get to the category of the red containers, she leaves out dairy. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, maybe you're someone, or maybe you do eat dairy, but you'll notice that if you start to eliminate it, you won't have, discomfort or bloating. So that's something to keep in mind also as you're making these changes. Again, though, if you are just starting out with this, maybe you haven't done the 21-day fix, maybe you are someone who works out a lot, but your nutrition has kind of been iffy, I would start out really basic with this. Just get to know the containers, get to know the portion sizes, get to develop a routine of eating every 2 to 3 hours, and then really start to experiment with the Countdown to Competition and the eliminating the dairy and things like that. So I would start out simple so that you don't stress yourself out. Okay, so if you go through that, what I would suggest doing when you sit down this week to make your meal plan is look at each category. So look at your greens, look at your blues, look at your oranges, and go through and look at the recipes and decide which things you typically eat and which things you like the most. So, and then from there, you can make a note in your book, or you can make a list and start to develop your kind of basic grocery list for the week. And maybe you're going to add things in that you might not typically eat, and that's great too, because then you're kind of experimenting and expanding your palate. That's the first step. From there, what I normally do is I sit down, usually on a Sunday, but because I'm just starting this, I sat down a little bit earlier when I got my plan, and I went through and I made that list, but I also then looked at the recipes that are in here that I can use, and then I kind of looked at the recipes that I'm already using and how they would fit in. And I started to write down my grocery list and my meals for the week. Another thing you can do that was really helpful when you're just starting out is start to make a list of your go-to meals, like your go-to breakfasts or your go-to lunches and your go-to dinners. Because then when you sit down to make your meal plan every week, you can kind of pick from there as your basis and then throw in like a new recipe or so every week. And that's kind of an easy way to approach it. So those are just my tips. I'm starting the 21 Day Fix Extreme right now when it's just being launched. I obviously hadn't gotten a chance to do it before, so I'll be starting right along with my test group. So I'll be learning as I go, and I'll keep you updated with any experiences that I have. Right now I'm basing my experience off of my experience with the original 21 Day Fix. So I'm sure there are some differences even further than what I've seen just at a quick glance at this book. But again, I will keep you updated. I truly believe that this is going to be a game changer. And if you follow this guide to a T and really hone in on your nutrition and make good choices and follow the workouts, I think that you are going to have amazing results. And I think that you're really going to see a change in your body, both physically, on the outside, and the way that you feel on the inside. So I'm so excited for all of you. I hope that you love this program as much as I loved the original, and I'm hoping I'll love this one as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer anything that you might want to ask. So good luck and have fun. Thanks, guys.